Hi, so today I wanted to take you guys through a little visualization that I just did for recentering into the self. So this is super useful for people who are people pleasers or are struggling with identity and our various roles and responsibilities to others. Using this in relationship is also super useful because it's super important in relationship that we give ourselves love and attention and stay as our individual self, and like to be in partnership with another as an individual, like a whole being, rather than like morphing or getting too entrenched in intertwining dynamics, right? So I did this because I found myself having a hard time being with myself, and I kept finding my awareness being brought to other people in my environment, and I was just like super struggling to like disengage from that. So I was sitting and feeling what it feels like to have my awareness with another, right? So our consciousness has, we can have like a point of consciousness within our body. A lot of people, our consciousness is in the head, could be out here in the front of the head, which I find happens a lot with anxiety or with dissociation or with disembodiment. I find myself worrying up in the front of my body and like thinking about all of these different things and focused on all these different things. And I noticed that when I'm centering my awareness on another, I take my awareness and project it to them. So I'm no longer present in my body. I'm no longer present in my environment. I'm no longer taking care of my own needs and my desires and listening to my own intuition. And instead, I'm focusing on projecting onto them. And I feel a sense of pressure that comes from that onto them. So my awareness is creating a pressure on the other, and that's not what I want. I think that's kind of not appropriate and feels gross, right? So the practice that I did is once I sat and realized that my awareness was in this web of dispersion to all these other places, I thought, what would it be like if I brought it back? And so I envisioned it and breathed it back into myself and down into my body. And I felt it anchoring, my awareness anchoring back into my chest, and I felt the sensation filling my chest. If you want to do it with me, we can just do it really quick together. So feel in your body where your consciousness is. See if you can locate it, if you can see it, if you can feel it, if you can hear it, if you can taste it, whatever. Find where it might be. Even if you're not sure and you just kind of have a general sense, it's all just practice, right? And intention is what matters. So find where your awareness is. Realize that it's yours and you have the power and the ability to control where it is. It's yours, it's you. And then as we breathe in, we're going to breathe it back in through the head and into the body. When we breathe out, we're going to anchor it in, and then we'll move on from there. So ready? Feel where your presence could be located. It might be out here, it might be here, it might be here, it might be in your feet. And breathe it into the heart. Ready? And breathe out, letting it settle in the heart space. Now, as it sets here, see if you can bring that awareness into more of your body, embodying more of yourself and your cells. One thing I noticed is I tend to exist more in the front and less in the back of my body. So I'm going to breathe that into the back of my body a little bit more to like round out my experience of the physical. So as I do that, I'm just envisioning that energy sinking back into the back of my cells. I use the breath to anchor that intention and that visual into the physical to make it feel stronger for me. You're welcome to do that, or sound it, or move it. Move it like doing like a wave or a dance or something. Okay, let's do another one. Feeling my whole body. And I feel so much more grounded and open, and I feel like I can see out of my eyes better. And it's like my vision was impaired because I was not actually present in my body enough to actually witness all that I'm seeing. Another piece about this that I'd like to talk about is union with self. So one way of decentering the other and bringing it back into the self is recognizing where we're expecting another person to meet our needs, to validate our worth, validate our identity, in the sense of identity that we've built for ourselves, and to solve our problems, to give us permission to heal, give us permission to surrender and to be soft, or permission to be strong, or permission to take action. Any place where we've given away our power to someone else, and by power I mean our autonomy and our sovereignty and our ability to heal ourselves and our ability to, act in our own best interest, and our ability to shape our future, knowing that we can trust ourselves. So bring that trust back from another person and bring it back into the self. You have gotten yourself through every single experience that you've had so far in this life. That means that the things that you have done and what you have learned to get here is your wisdom and knowledge, and that is something that you can rely on. Nobody else is actually going to do that for you. Nobody else is actually going to fulfill your needs. Nobody else is actually going to validate your worth. Nobody else is going to validate your feelings and emotions. They can offer validation, but unless you take it into yourself as yours, as your truth, then it will not stick, right? So what I was thinking about in regards to that for myself was, if I gave myself the permission to take the actions I need to take, then what would I do? If I gave myself permission to be fine, to be healed, to be healthy, to be embodied, to be like abundant and secure in my experience, what would I do? And when I agreed to commit to myself as if I was my own partner, like how would I court myself? How would I take myself on dates? Like, I know I'm a good date. Like, I know what I like. I know what brings me joy and pleasure. I know what gives me purpose, and I know what allows me to feel, not right now, babe. Close the window. I know what allows me to feel full and nourished and embodied and powerful. I know what I need for my future and what I want for my future and what legacy I want to lead. I know that. No one else actually has that in them. They all have their own self and the things that they love and enjoy and the things that they want to leave, and that's their responsibility. And my desires in my life is my responsibility. And it's awesome if any of us in any situation can find somebody who has a similar goal and wants to reach those goals together, side by side. And you are still the only one who can do that for you. You're the only one who can be in partnership for yourself with another person. You're the only one who can advocate for your own intentions and will and desires, your own future, your own values, right? So bringing that back in, how would I be with myself? And when I felt, when I had brought my awareness back into my body and chosen to commit to myself as my own partner, as my own validation, my own knight in shining armor, my own support system, I felt so much peace, and this fullness and warmth fill up my chest. So I highly recommend taking some time, because once again, nobody else can do this for you. So I highly recommend taking some time to sit with yourself. If this is something you'd like to do, sit with yourself and feel what it feels like to be in your own body. Feel what it feels like to meet your own needs and to give yourself the validity of your experiences and your desires and what actions you need to take. Feel what it feels like to choose to commit to you. And allow that to permeate through your experience by just surrendering to it, relaxing the body, feeling it. One thing I think that makes a lot of our practices more difficult is this gripping of fear. And that fear is, what if I'm wrong? The fear is, if I surrender and let go, then what will happen? You know, the unknown and stuff. So when I say like really feel it, surrender to it, I just mean feel that fear or gripping, feel that tension. It's probably in your body. Tension in the body and the mind, those happen automatically. You know, when there's tension in our thoughts and restriction in our thoughts, there ends up being tension and restriction in our bodies. So if you can't find it in your thoughts, feel it in your body. If you can't feel it in your body, find it in your thoughts. It's the same. Feel that gripping, and imagine if you're gripping so tightly, you know, you're like, oh, I'm clenching my fists right now. Breathing and letting the fists go, letting the clenching undo. And you can feel that in your back, you can feel it in your throat, you can feel it in your guts, you can feel it in your mind. And just practice feeling that tension and releasing it. That everything's going to be okay. And it might look different than what I thought originally, but I have faith in myself. And that you can trust yourself with your own best interest. And you can trust that others are looking for their own best interest. So with that trust, you can move a lot more peacefully and with a lot more grace. Hopefully that's helpful. I hope you're having a great day, enjoying the beautiful weather wherever you are, whatever it may look like, and take care.